The price of petrol is rising. It's getting so bad that some petrol pump bandits drive off without paying for it. Then there's the environment to consider. So what's the alternative? Well, last year more than 15,000 UK drivers converted their cars to run on LPG. Car producers in Germany are known for their gas guzzlers, but their attitudes are changing too. Liquid petrol gas gives the driver several benefits over normal petrol. At this small German garage, the conversion process begins with the addition of a new tank. It's installed in the spare tyre well. The mechanic cuts a hole in the bodywork. This is where the fuel line will travel from the tank to the engine. He takes care to smooth off any rough edges so nothing is damaged. The new tank can now be fitted into place with its opening through the freshly cut hole. A gas line is fitted into the mouth of the tank, which includes a safety valve. Standards must be kept high when dealing with flammable fuels. The gas will flow down a pipe along the bottom of the car. It will eventually arrive here, where another valve is being fitted. This valve connects the LPG system to the existing petrol system and must be securely attached. LPG gives you fewer miles per litre than petrol, but LPG is also around half the price, so the benefits are obvious. There's also a gas filter, similar to a standard petrol filter, and a pressure regulator to make sure nothing goes wrong. With everything in place, the mechanics can take the converted car out for a test drive. There are over 9 million LPG cars worldwide, and petrol stations are also converting to offer this cheaper fuel. In the UK, there are over 1,300 forecourts providing this environmentally friendly alternative. The filling process is much like feeding a standard petrol tank, the only difference being the nozzle is screwed into the fuel slot, so nothing is spilt by accident. Like the car conversion, buses can also be transformed. The tanks are specially made like ordinary fuel tanks, and because LPG is a liquid, not gas, it doesn't need to be stored under high pressure. Driving around with a spare tank full of flammable gas might sound like a risky proposition, but extensive testing over the last 30 years has helped develop better storage facilities which can survive massive impacts quite safely. Even when the scientists tested these tanks in extreme conditions, they didn't prove any more dangerous than your ordinary petrol tank. Even when exposed to this test fire burning at over 1000 degrees Celsius. And as the tanks aren't highly pressurized, the risk of explosions is also lower. There's one other useful benefit. Cheaper fuel is an obvious one, but by keeping two different fuel tanks, you can now travel further with fewer fuel stops. Here, the mechanics are testing that the LPG system is working perfectly, even when the boss gives it some gas, or should I say liquid. As the level drops towards empty, a flick of the switch returns the car to petrol power. So the LPG option gives the driver two tanks to choose from. They'll just have to find somewhere else to store the spare tyre.